watching the Halos in the Infield podcast. From everything Halos to our full series recaps, we'll even give you our upcoming series projections. You won't miss a thing because we are for the fans, by the fans. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome into another podcast here talking about your Halos, as we are going to be recapping the weekend that was the 4-game series to kick off the 2026 season. If you're excited like we are, well, then you got to do one thing. That is go down to 714 tickets and get your tickets to go to any game, anytime, any place, anywhere. No hidden fees. The price you see is the price you get. And if you act anytime with the app in general, you can just put HITI in the apply now code and get 10% off of your tickets and 5% back to your app to spend on future tickets. Isn't that amazing? So with that being said, we are close to starting things off, getting things back to Anaheim Stadium, but halfway through the road trip we are, and we're going to talk about on this upcoming episode as you're watching now, the Cubs series that's going to follow. Right now, we'll preview that after we recap Game 1 through Game 4, which the Angels, to most people, including myself who do the post game, are very disappointed that they are only able to swing one of the wins, or actually 2 out of the 4 split the series. And, they should have won Game 3, and we'll talk about that in general. But let's talk about Game 1, where a lot of people were a little skeptical on Soriano being the ace of the staff. I say, why not? He's got some of the best stuff on the team. And we know Kikuchi's more of a 2-3 guy. Some people even think he's a 4. So, yeah, you don't want to lead off with that guy. And we'll see how he pitched in Game 2. But Game 1, the Angels get a very, very good performance from one said Soriano. So let's get to the highlights, shall we? And we'll talk about how that came about as the Angels got the dub. And let's talk about, the opening day highlights here. And right away, the Angels get we're striking out left and right. In this game, they struck out 14 times, as I'm showing on the screen for those that are watching. 14 Ks in a game. You had a stolen base there by Mike Trout to seemingly get things going in the first inning, but the starter right there got the job done and got the strikeout to end the inning right there, as Hunter Brown didn't pitch excellent. I thought the Angels did a really good job of being patient. Although they struck out 14 times, they saw a lot of pitches, and Hunter Brown was only able to go 4 2/3 in this one, while Soriano gave you 6 solid, strong innings, 7 strikeouts. He did walk 4 guys, but 60 strikes out of 91 pitches. He kept Houston off balance all game. And then Hunter Brown was racking up strikeouts. He had 9, like I said. The Angels really didn't muster much offensively, and the game was really blissfully going by. It was in the 5th inning. It was still no score. And, you had some really good plays. Zach Neto made a nice play at shortstop to rob a hit. And it wasn't until the 6th or 7th inning, when Mike Nelson Trout went deep to left field. That would make it 1-0 Angels. And that's good to see him catch up to a fastball because he had been so late. It appears that he has changed his swing. He's not raising his leg up so high. He's doing more of a toe tap and keeping it down to the ground. Again, there was a jam here where you had 2 men on and only 2 out with Yordan Alvarez up there. And Silseth came in, pitched 1 pitch and got the out. That was important because that stopped it and kept it to 1-0. Then we went to the top of the 8th inning with 2 men on. Oswald Peraza gets a clutch single right there to make it 2-0 with 2 outs as he looped one into left field. And then just for icing on the cake, Shonawell in the 9th inning hit a solo shot to make it 3-0. And then Jordan Romano would come in relief, as we know that Kirby Yates, Ben Joyce, Robert Stevenson, the back end of that bullpen, starts the season on the IL, and they had to go with Jordan Romano. He got him just to give up a walk in the 9th inning and pretty much set him down after that. And the Angels would get a 3-0 win right there. And, again, the Angels struck out 14 times in that game. The Astros had struck out 9. And, for the most part, I thought that the Angels were very focused, did a good job. You did have a couple guys not putting in anything, like Josh Lowe went 0 for 4. Zach Neto went 0 for 5 in that game. And so it's one of those things where we're used to the Angels losing. And to recap, they won, they had lost 11 out of their last 12, either home openers or road openers. So it had been a while. And then going to a place prior to this road trip with Houston that you had a combined record of 25-52 in 77 games. It wasn't looking like it was in your favor, but to come out and get an opening day W was very nice. And that helped the Angels out as they would get the W on opening day. Soriano did a good job, got the W. You always like to see your starters get that hard-earned win. Now it moved us on to Game 2. And Game 2, this was a nice game as well. The Angels wound up winning 6-2. 6 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors to the Houston Astros, 2 runs, 8 hits. So let's show you the little bit of highlights of that for those that are watching. Those on the podcast, I'll describe it. So Shonowell and the Angels got it going in the first inning, had first and third with nobody out, but Shonowell, or with nobody out, but Shonowell would hit into a double play. That would score a run. Then for some reason, Ohapi, as he has done in this series, which is crazy to think about, Grillmaster, one of our regulars on the postgame show, brought it up that Kurt Suzuki's his manager, and Kurt Suzuki, when he played with the Angels, often threw the ball into center field and would miss the infielders when trying to throw runners out. And right away, Logan Ohapi, after the Angels had got that run on the double play to lead 1-0 in the bottom of the first, the runner was trying to get to third base on a wild pitch, and Ohapi should have just ate it. Instead, he throws it into left field, and the base runner would come around to score, and we had a 1-1 game early on. Then the second inning, with 2 men on and nobody out, Josh Lowe put a very emotional home run into the left field. Crawford seats right there. That would make it 4-1. After the game, I felt it was a little bush league for the reporter to ask him about it, but after she gave him a hug, I think it was more along the lines of, well, the producers wanted her to ask that question about his lost mother, which he lost his mother to, I think it was cancer, the C word, in the offseason. So he was playing with a heavy heart, and when he hit that home run, he automatically pointed up to the sky when he came around to score. That 3-run homer was literally the game winner in the second inning. That was 4-1 right there. Then you had a nice play by Peraza to rob a base runner right here. You had, because he was going to score on it, one up the middle, but Maxwell had to hold. And by keeping it 4-1, Trout came up again the second time in 2 games and hit one into the Crawford boxes to make it 5-1. And right away, the Angels were cruising at that point with Mike Trout hitting a home run. But Yordan Alvarez would get into the scoring summary in the bottom of the 5th inning to keep it a 3-run game. That solo shot would make it 5-2. That would be their only home run of the entire series. Usually Houston hits a lot of home runs against us. Mancada, although was very shaky in this series with Houston, makes a nice play there in the 6th inning to keep it 5-2. And then for good measure, Zach Neto hits his first home run of the season in the top of the 9th inning to put a little icing on the cake. That too hits the Crawford boxes, and the Angels would win on Game 2 of this series 6-2. Romano again would come in to close it out, striking out Alvarez, Yordan Alvarez. I don't know why I blanked on his name right there. And the Angels take it 6-2. 3 hits for Trout in that game, including a walk, so he was on 4 more times. He was on like a dozen times in this series. That was very, very good to see. And the Angels, although winning the game on Game 1, striking out 14 times, they strike out 11 times here. So that would give him 25 strikeouts in 2 games. Houston would strike out 10 times in the game. Notables for the Angels, again, you had 3 hits or 3 RBIs, 2 hits for Josh Lowe. You had 3 hits and a walk for Mike Trout. Those 2 guys were kicking butt right there. The Angels were only 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Kikuchi did not get the victory as he went 4 1/3, giving up 2 runs on 8 hits, both allowed, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 1 home run. 86 pitches, was messing around too much in the zone, had to get lifted early. Silseth would finish out the 5th inning, but Zephyr John would get the win in relief. 2 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Bachman got a hold, and Romano knocked it out in the 9th inning. So good start right there. 2 up, 2 down. And here's where the series, in my opinion, and I think everyone's opinion, just took a nosedive, because I think that that affected a little bit on today's results, which is Sunday. But this one right here really hurt, because it's not often the Angels had a big lead like this last year at all. And when you get a lead like this, you got to hold it. So the final score was Houston 11, Angels 9. The Angels had a 6-run lead, and I'll show you the highlights again for those watching on YouTube. For those listening, you're checking out, you're just listening to me describe it. It started good. Top of the 3rd inning, Oswaldo Peraza, who had himself a game, hit a solo shot to make it 1-0. Bottom of the 3rd, you had a nice catch here by Mike Trout, as you had Reed Detmers getting the start. Christian Javier had dominated the Angels in the past, but not in this game. Jorge Soler would hit a 2-run shot, and it was 3-0 Angels in the top of the 4th. Then with the bases loaded, Mike Trout comes through with a nice hit through the left side of the infield. That would make it 4-0. The Angels would also add on a couple more runs off a sacrifice and a walk. It was 6-0, and they were cruising. But here it is, Detmers with 2 outs and 2 on, 2 strikes, too good of a pitch to Paredes, and he hits one off the top of the wall, and that would change the game completely. Had he got the strikeout through a little bit of a weaker pitch, those 2 runs don't score. And then they bring in a bullpen reliever, again, Uriah, who's not really all that good. He was just sent down, Urena, and he came in here with a little bit wild. He's got great stuff, but they were hoping he could settle down. Not so much. He fell behind Correa, 3 balls and 1 strike. That liner would score a run right there by Correa. It was 6-3, then 6-4 in the next inning, trying to get a play. Oh, yeah, this was terrible. The pitcher, Uriah, literally should have came down and got the ball, and Ohapi should have stayed at home plate. You had the bases loaded right there in the 6th inning as they brought him back out, the young 22-year-old rookie. They should have left him in and had him cover home plate, and or have him cover the ball and flip it to Ohapi. Instead, Ohapi gets out, gets in his way, falls on his knees, throws from his knees, and then proceeds to throw it to right field. Now, by this time, after I didn't even mention in game 2, Ohapi was trying to throw a guy out. He threw it into center field past the second baseman. So in 3 games, at this point, Ohapi had thrown it into the outfield on the third base side. He had thrown it in the outfield in the second base side. And now he has thrown it away into the right field side of first base. So he had missed all 3 bases in 3 games. That miss right there with the bases loaded would bring in 2 runs. That would tie the game at 6. All the momentum now in favor of Houston, as Houston would send 10 men to the plate at that point in the 6th inning. Now, next hitter off his glove, Walker, off of Peraza, that would get through. It was 7-6. Houston had its first lead of the game, and you're feeling kind of crappy right now if you're the Angels if you blew that one. And then they bring in Lucchesi, and Lucchesi gives up a ground ball to the right side and again past Oswaldo. 2 more runs would score. It's 9-6 Houston. Still not done, as Lucchesi is still in there at 9-6. Still in the 6th inning. They are batting around like crazy. Houston's having a good time. 1st and 3rd. And then Lucchesi brings it home right here, and it is hit a ton to right side, the right field side by the Honda sign, and Adele tries to jump up to catch it. Probably shouldn't have jumped right there, but thought he was closer to the wall, misplays the ball, 2-run score. It's a 2-run double. It's 11-6. Then in the 9th inning with 2 men on and 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes, Shonawell hits his first home run of the season. Or I think that's his second home run of the season, and that would make it 11-9. That's as close as we got. The Angels would drop that game, and man, again, you're up 6-0. I don't care who you're facing. I don't care what inning it is. You're up 6 runs. Even if you tally that in the 1st inning or the 5th inning, you have to win that game. So very disappointing. 3 errors did lead to it. Mancada had another error in this one, along with Ohapi's 2 errors. So in the game, you had a good game for Trout. Again, he had 2 walks, a hit, which was an RBI single. Shonawell had the 3-run homer. Soler had 3 walks and two RBIs with that RBI double. Mancata was the one that went 0 for 3. Adele went 0 for 4, and Josh Lowe went 0 for 3. So the 5, 6, 7 hitters really hurt the Angels. They went a combined 0 for 10. Ohapi wasn't much better. He did score a run, but I think that was on a hits batsman. But Peraza had himself a game. He went 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. Very nice. The Angels only struck out 8 times. That was the best of the entire series. They got 12 strikeouts on Houston. Detmers, again, another starter, another non-5 inning performance, 4 2/3 pitched, 3 runs, 6 hits, all earned, 9 strikeouts, no walks, but he threw 95 pitches through 4 2/3, and then Urena was left in there to get beat up 4 runs, or actually 6 runs on 4 hits and 2 walks. And then Lucchesi wasn't much better, 2 runs on 3 hits. Sutter actually pitched 2 innings to calm it down, but by then it was pretty much over. Christian Javier didn't figure in the win either. He also gave up 6 runs on 4 hits and 4 walks, 2 home runs allowed. It was Tang in relief who would get the win, 2 1/3, just allowing the 1 hit and the 1 walk. So the Angels blow that one. And man, this again, if they win that one, this next game would be gravy. And it was game 4 right here. And again, if you win this one, you're feeling much better about yourself. And, you win the series. And again, you had an opportunity in this one as well. You had a starter making his first start for the Houston Astros. I'm going to smash the name right here. Ime from Japan came in there. He didn't pitch good. 2 2/3, 4 runs on 3 hits. So let's check out the highlights for those watching and for those listening. I will describe it. Kawanowitz was on the mound. It was a second inning, bases loaded, single to right there by Vasquez, the number 9 hitter. You hate seeing that, but that slider did not get off the plate, and it went to right field. It scored 2 runs, 2-0, first and third. The next 2 batters later, it was Jordan Alvarez. He singles to right here to score a run. It's 3-0, and they're trying to get out of it with limited damage. And then there's ground ball to the left side. Should be an easy throw by Mancata, but he throws the ball away, not even close to freaking Shonawell. They score the 4th run, and the Angels are in a big hole. But it doesn't last long. Top of the 3rd inning, the bases were juiced for Jorge Soler. He comes through again with a bases clearing double that would score Neto, Trout, and Shonawell eventually, and the Angels would lead be trailing 4-3 at this point. 2 batters later with 2 outs and a runner at third. That one is down the line. Nice hitting by Adele to knock in Jorge Soler, and we got a new game. Travis d'Arnaud would lead off the next inning, or actually this is here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Soler makes a great play. Now, you heard that term about you giveth, you taketh away. Well, he tooketh away right there from the Houston Astros. He would giveth back in a little bit. But first, you had a 2-run shot after Travis d'Arnaud led off the inning in the 4th inning with a double. Zach Neto would go to left field and hit one into the Crawford seats. And then here's where he gives it back. Soler trying to get back. And he giveth right back as he made a Joe Adele play, mistiming the jump, and that ball gets away with the bases loaded. That scores 2 runs to make it 6-6 in the 5th inning. Walker's hit over Soler. And then you had Pomerantz come in. They should have challenged right here. They had a challenge to give. Ohapi did not zero in on that challenge, and the next batter would hit it to center field, and Adele would miss it. Both second and third would score on the play. It was 8-6 Houston. And then the vertically challenged Jose Altuve would come up to bat and knock in a single to make it 9-6. And then Shonawell in the 9th inning would hit it off of Walker with first or second base. It would skip into the outfield. Adam Frazier would come around to score. It's 9-7. Then you had 2 batters in a row, Adele and both Mancata looking at strike 3 right down the middle. I mean, this was tailor-made right down the middle, like, God damn it, swing, and he don't, and they lose the game right there, and that's all she wrote. So the Angels come away with just the one or the 2 wins, split the series, and I would have thought, man, they win that 3rd game, there's a good possibility they sweep this series. So the total numbers on that one was Pomerantz in relief getting the loss. Blue Ball gets the win for the Astros. The save goes to King, which King stuff was just like straight down the middle fastballs. I can't believe the Angels missed those opportunities in the ninth inning. But either way, the Angels or the Astros have 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Angels had 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and they struck out 13 more times. So 13 plus 8, that's 21, plus 11, that's 32, plus 14. You struck out 46 times as a team in 4 games. That's over 10 strikeouts a game. That is bad. So the Angels blow it right there. The only positive is that they were seeing a lot of pitches and they worked 8 more walks in this game, but it wasn't enough. The Angels went 5 for 14 with runners in scoring position, so still not being able to get the hits. Kwanowitz was not good. As good as he was in the spring, he went 4 innings, 6 runs, 4 hits, 5 earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. That's too many pitches, too many walks. Silseth went an inning, allowed only a hit, got a strikeout. Bachman went in there 2 innings, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs, but he was shaky and missed on a lot of those fastballs. Pomerantz got lit up a little bit, 3 runs on 2 hits, all earned right there, and 2 walks. So tough series all in all for the Angels. It should have been a win, and winning in Houston is not to be taken for granted, taken lightly by this franchise. They've had quite the problems trying to win in freaking Houston, and for them just to roll over, or for them to have have an opportunity to win 3 out of 4 at least, and possibly sweep and blow it and split it. It's like kissing your sister. It's terrible, man. It's just, there should be no feelings there. So the Angels would go on to, like I said, split that series. That now moves us to what we're going to talk about, and that is the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs will be coming into this one 1-2. They lost the series at home against the Nationals 2-1. But we will see a couple good pitchers in this series moving forward. I think we're going to see the number 1 for for Chicago, unless it's Boyd. I think they're going to go Boyd. Yeah, Boyd's their number 1. But we got Ryan Johnson starting for the Angels tomorrow, 4:40 start, or today, whenever you're watching this. He's going to be going up against Cabrera. That's a tough game right there. Then at Wrigley Field, you got Jose Soriano going against Jameson Taillon, former Yankee, former Pirate. He will be getting the start on Tuesday, March 31st. And then Kikuchi against Boyd. That is the 11:20 start. Now, I will tell you this. I am very skeptical to see, as I preview the Cubs series. Cubs got a good lineup, and so they will pressure the Angels. And Johnson, man, he can't flirt around. He's got to trust his stuff. And again, he's got to have movement. You can't be throwing pitches on a line, because these guys will easily push it out of that stadium, and they will beat you. So tomorrow's game, or today's game, however you want to look at it, March 30th, is a 50-50 to me. That's a coin flip. I don't know which way that's going to go. I think Cabrera can be had, but it's going to take some pitching. And right now, with a bullpen in shambles and not knowing who you're pulling up right now or putting down, I don't know, man. This one's going to be tough. And then the Soriano-Taillon game, dude, I'm going to go confidence. I'm going to say that Soriano's going to give us 2 good road starts in a row, and I think that he beats Jameson Taillon in game 2. So 50-50 in that first one. And I think I'm going to give the nod to Soriano going up against Taillon. And here's where it just, I don't have a good feeling about this one, guys. 11:20 start over here on the West Coast, 2:20 over there. The wind would likely be blowing out. And you got Kikuchi going up against Boyd. And Boyd's a good starter. He knows how to pitch in Wrigley. Kikuchi, not so much, and I just don't get a good feeling with it, because the way he pitched in Houston, dicking around in the lineup, dude, or in the strike zone, you got to be – if you're going to throw something down and in, down and away, it's got to have severe movement. You got to be hitting your other pitches in the strike zone and then messing them up with those trick pitches or those pitches outside the zone. If you're trying to land swings and misses when you're not pinpointing the zone or the corners – and trying to, because if you're not hitting the strike zone, these hitters will let those sliders and your out pitches just go for balls. So in this series, I think that's why Kikuchi's got to establish the strike zone right away, else he's going to wind up not making 5 innings and probably giving up more runs, and they're going to take a loss. So I hope I'm wrong. but I have a feeling we might go 1-2 in this series. I have a feeling. It would be great. I think the best the Angels can do, I don't see the Angels sweeping the Cubs at all. I think the best they can do is win 2 out of 3. But I have a feeling they're only going to get 1 in this one. And that's a shame, especially as good as they started. So there is problems in this lineup. And again, getting the strikeouts down and playing a little small ball and getting better bullpen relief, I think, is the key to winning this series, because those were the things that daggered them in the first series against Houston. So that is the recap. That is the look ahead for the Chicago Cubs. We will be recapping these every night or every game after for the post-game show, and then we'll be back again on the podcast talking about the Cubs, recapping that series, and then talking home opener on Thursday. So stay tuned for that, as Vince and Fernando will be there. So for Todd Fox and everybody that's part of the Halos in the Infield Network, please like and subscribe, and also get the notifications. Send them to a friend. Check out our social media. We do have raffles and a lot of good stuff coming up here for the homestand. So for Todd Fox and everybody on the show and on the page, have a good night or good afternoon, or let's go Angels.
Thank you all for watching the Halos in the Infield podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe on your way out.